إلا بالله العلي العظيم بسره بحقه وقدرته افتحنا كل أبواب رحمة وفضلك وجودك ويسر وحسن في ديني ودوني والآخرة. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to close the doors of sadness and depressions and despair, to open the doors of happiness for the sake of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Make us to step firmly on the right way, not to lose our steps, not to lose our steps. Allahumma salli wa sallam wa barak ala Sayyidina Muhammad. It was said about Imam Tariq, I forgot what his surname, he was commander of the first Islamic expedition to Spain, Andalus, that he came from North Africa, past Gibraltar by ship, and landed with his men, and he ordered his men, burn the ships, so no way to retreat. He said, in front of you is the enemy, behind you is the sea. Alama. We're asking to move straight ahead as much as we're able to do. It's a difficult time now and difficult conditions. No one was asking for this situation that we're in nowadays. No one was thinking about it. Allah warned us. He said, live tough, because easy times might end and you have to face difficult times. May He make us able to face. The believer has to face what's in front of him. So say, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Ulaika alayhim salawatu min rabbikum wa rahmah. Ulaika hum muhtadun. Those who leave their affair to Allah, and Allah looks after them. وَكَانَ حَقًّا عَلَيْنَا نَصْرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah made it obligatory on Himself to help the ones who believe in Him. Ya Sayyidi Madad, Allah, Allah,
Allah, Allah, Allah, Aziz Allah, 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 Kareem Allah, 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 Subhanallah, Allah, 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 Subhanallah.
أنت سلطان، أنت ربنا ونحن عبادك. ضعيف عاجز. You are our Lord, all powerful, almighty, all merciful, most beneficent, all knowing, all seeing, all hearing, all surround, encompassing, and we are weak servants. لا يملك لنفس الموت ولا حياة ولا نشورا. We don't have any control over our life or death or our resurrection. We didn't fill out an application to be born into this life. We don't know when we're going to be taken from this life and when we're going to be raised up again. No one knows. Allah say, we created, we ordained for you death. And what is going to stop us from changing you into a new form? وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا. How does it go? No. We ordained for your death. We created your life in life and death. What's to stop us from raising you up in a new form that you never thought about? You know the first form already. You didn't have any say in that. What's to stop us from making you in a new form? I was ashamed. We used to go to a Hindu place, ashram, or interfaith, because non-Hindus was coming also. American people and European people were coming, and it was a good chance to come and speak about Sufism and to make people to say La ilaha illallah. And we used to go every year. Inshallah, we hope to go again one day, if Allah permits. And I became friendly with one. It was a New Agey kind of place. They weren't strict on their Hinduism. There was more meditation, and then recently they began bringing Vedanta priests from India to try to straighten the ranks, straighten the rows. As we see our ulama teaching Quran and Hadith and Fiqh, they were teaching their beliefs. And when his session was over, he used to go and walk on the beach, this priest. I used to go with him to take a walk on the ocean. I used to like to go on the ocean and make zikr. I used to walk with him. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, take knowledge from anywhere you find wisdom, take it and keep it as your own. He was telling me about his beliefs. They believe, like we do, this life is temporary, but then they believe they're going to jump to a new life, reincarnation. That at any moment they should, like a science fiction, to warp into a new existence of some kind. And I listened to him. I said, you have your lakum dinakum waliya din. You have your beliefs, we have our beliefs. And then I saw in Holy Quran that ayat. What's to stop us from creating you in a new form? You already know the first form. Why you didn't think about it? I said, oh, it's Holy Quran. I can't say lakum dinakum waliya din. What Allah means to say. At any moment, we might find ourselves in a new world. The Prophet was praying, Allahumma inni as'aluka min fujarati al-khair wa a'udhu bika min fujarati al-shar. We're asking, Prophet was asking to be blessed by Allah with a sudden goodness. We didn't see the cause for it. He gave it. And he asked refuge to Allah from being overtaken by sudden misfortune, shock. Not to be overtaken unexpectedly by something. We ask not to be taken by surprise. The angel of death not to seize us by surprise in a moment when we're down. Because everyone we're like this. But that priest forced me to think about it. At least, though his beliefs are different from our beliefs, he was always thinking about death and thinking that at any time he's going to jump to a new life. And that's our situation also. In Holy Quran, it was one of the wasiyah, the will. When you pass away to have a will, the will of Shaykh Sharafuddin Dagestani, the Shaykh of Grand Shaykh Abdullah. He said, if you don't think about death at least 3 times a day, your faith is too weak to build on. We like to put it behind us, not to think about it. Believer has to face reality. A believer has to be a bit brave. To be brave ones. To consider that our life on earth is a short life and that we're journeying from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We came from Him and we're returning. But we became drunk or intoxicated or hypnotized or deceived by the life of this world. وَلَا تَغْرَنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا يَغْرَنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورُ. The life of this world deceives us, entrances us. We become heedless of our real situation. We're coming from Allah, a short time here and going back. This is only for preparing to meet Him once again. But dunya is calling. I think we're using strange examples today. We used that Hindu priest who was always thinking about death and ready any moment to jump. He was expecting any second to drop this body and appear in a new life. And I said, his beliefs is different, but look how tightly he's looking at his situation, his mission. I was ashamed. We're saying we're Muslims, our beliefs, but we're not, who cares? He was not, who cares? To take wisdom, the Prophet said, wherever you find wisdom, claim it like your lost property. We're keeping that. Muraqabah and mushahid. It's a kind of muraqabah. And I recalled when I was in school, we used to have to read Greek literature. Homer. You read Homer in school? Iliad and Odyssey. Odysseus. Odysseus was a traveler, a spiritual traveler. Indiana Jones, going from adventure to adventure. And he was trying to win the prize, spiritual. He was trying to reach something spiritual. He was going by ship. he had a ship with his men on that ship, and they were going towards their goal. I forgot what they had to do, rescue the maiden or get the golden fleece, something. They were after a prize. It's too cold? It's okay. They had to, and their ship had to go past the island. And those sailors, his men, they were out to sea for a long time on that boat, day after day. With no wind, they have to row. With wind, they're sitting a long time. Who knows what they were eating, what they were drinking? You're here too? Okay. They passed an island, according to the story, the legend. On that island was some demons, jinns or ghouls, evil ones, monsters. And they wanted to wreck the ship of Ulysses and sink it, and they wanted to have a good dinner on the sailors. The men were rowing past the island, and they were tired and frustrated, bored. And those demons called to them, but they didn't say, "We're demons coming to eat you." They took the shape of beautiful ladies with lovely, sweet voices, saying, "Oh," something. And the sailors are, what's that? They want to go there. And Ulysses knows these are demons. If they turn and begin rowing towards those ladies, the boat's going to sink, crash on the rocks, and break up, and then the demons should eat them, get them, imprison them. Do what demons do, not to make a good ending out of it. So he told his men, "Oh men, this is a dangerous situation. Don't pay attention to those voices you hear. It's a trick. It's a trick. They're trying to bewitch you." So he told them to take wax. They had candles on the ship, to take wax, put in their ears not to hear those voices, and they rode safely past that island. We're like that. We're journeying, like Ulysses and his men, trying to reach to Akhirah, trying to reach to our spirituality, to blessings and unveilings and heavenly lights. And this dunya is calling us like those demons. Come to us, come to us. And we're tired. How many times going? Open something every day, making zikr, fasting, praying, doing. And we want to give up. And Sayyid Abdul Qadir Jilani, Allah bless him. He's one of the two awliya authorized to look after our dunya affairs. He and Shaykh Muhyiddin Ibn al-Arabi, Allah bless him, call on them. You have difficulties, especially for traveling, but for everything, for your dunya. He used to say to his murids, "Be firm, urge on with your foot. One more, just a little more, just a little more. Just don't lower your, don't give up. A little more you may reach." Once, Prophet ﷺ, he was returning from a battle with his Sahaba, and the men also were tired and worn out. So many were wounded, so many had been killed. And as they're nearing their home, they want to throw down their swords and shields and spears, whatever they had, and run to their homes. And Prophet said to them, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Oh, my men, don't lower your weapons. Don't lower your weapons. It's not the time to relax. We're coming from the small jihad, the small war, to the big war. Jihad al-Akbar. And the men, the Sahaba, thought to themselves, what could be worse than what we just saw? That was the Jihad al-Akbar. What's coming now? The Prophet said, it's not like you think. That was the small war against human beings, fighting us. But now we're going to face the terrible enemy within the two sides of the chest, our egos. That war, you can't lower your guard. Ego is always ready to do revolution. They asked Mawlana Shaykh Nazim, Allah bless him, may he look to us. How can you tell if you're making progress? He says, don't make progress. There's no progress. Kill it. Kill your ego. Anytime it can make revolution on you. If you have it down and it goes, oh my, get up, you poor ego. It's going to get you. Ego doesn't stop. You have to kill it. Take its control. Me also. I'm not saying something I'm immune from it. He said the lessons he gave us will be needed at the time of Mahdi also. Don't think everything goes away. Up to the end. Shaykh Hashem is fond of the hadith, La rahat fi din. No rest in religion. Thumma amanu. You have to continue. We have to continue for the sake of Allah. Up to the end. Up to the end. We have to be like the ant at the time of Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam. Sulaiman alayhi salam was coming with his armies in a magnificent parade, and the Quran says one ant got up and said, "Oh ants, quickly back into your homes before Sulaiman crush you under his feet." And Holy Quran said Sulaiman was happy with his speech. He said, "What made you to say like that?" Mawlana Shaykh put some detail under the microscope. The ant said to Sulaiman, "Go back, what you're coming in on." It's an ant against the army of Sulaiman. Jinns and who knows what kind. And Sulaiman said, "Who is this saying to me that?" He said to the ant, "What you saying?" Sulaiman, "Forgive me, but my wife is looking. I have to show toughness." And Sulaiman laughed. He was happy. He smiled. May Allah make us to take good steps, firm steps. Believer has to take good steps. Allahumma salli wa sallam sends us Sultan, leads us on Haqq. Rabbi jalnana min ladunka waliya wa jalnana min ladunka sultanan nasira. Where is that leader going to be? We have to look in ourselves. We have to look in ourselves. Where is that Imam to lead us on Haqq? If we can't find it in ourselves, we can't find it outside ourselves. May Allah grant us the blessings of this night, Holy Yom al-Jummah, and forgive us and mercy us for the sake of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, for the sake of Mawlana Shaykh and whole awliya, for the sake of Abdul Aziz al-Madawi, reading his salawat, and all of them. Shah Naqshband, Sayyidina Abu Amun al-Sawuri, to mention his name during this holy month of Safar. Fatiha. Safar al-Khair. Because so many difficulties, each of those difficulties is a way to get up. Fatiha. If you face them, you will find an unexpected opening, door to get up. Fatiha. When confronted with a heavy enemy, what did they say? Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Isn't it? They said a huge army is gathering against you. They said Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Kullan yusibana ila ma kataba Allahu lana. Huwa al-mawlana. Wa 'ala Allahi falyatawakkalul mu'minun. Fatiha. أشهد أن لا إله